sounds really weird. Have you got a have you tried doing a complete delete and reload of the whole game? Because something sounds quite corrupt. And if not, the other thing I'd suggest is winding back your detail settings in case that's causing a problem. So here we are. We've got the shard in the distance there. This looks rather splendid. Where's my train? Swing your camera. There's my train. Class 456. Dispatch, you're running this 1552 departing service from London Bridge to London Victoria. Allow passengers to board here at London Bridge and then wait for the signal to clear before proceeding. Doors are open. Stick the DRA on so we can't make any mistakes. So if you haven't seen South London Network before, there's a little bit different when the way that routes generally work. Wow, we got 67 points for that. That must mean there are a lot of stops. We've got a red light at the moment, so we can't actually go anywhere. I imagine we'll get green in a moment, or at least amber. Take the DRI off now because doors are closed again. Do come on. Hey, we got clear on the down line. Wow, I love that sound. Cross over. Just got to make sure we don't blow the 20. United Terry, you know, honestly, I don't know. So I'd understood it was for protection against the doors being open, but I must admit, I don't actually know what the rules are regarding DRA. I have no doubt someone will now tell me. Next stop is New Cross Gate in 2.5 miles. Hey there, Apple DRK. Thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Now you come to mention it, United Terry, that probably is completely correct. It certainly makes a lot of sense. Just getting up to the 60 and now we're going to have to slow down for the 45. That's fantastic. As you pass this signal then we'll start slowing down. New Cross Gate's now visible, 1.5 miles away. Got an approach control signal, so we'll be changing lines here in a minute. Double amber. Just going past the amber light now. It's flashing, so we're on approach control. The next light will be a solid amber with a set of feathers on it, indicating the direction we're going. There we go. So we're turning to the left hand a bit. Coming into a stop, about 10 seconds late. That's not too bad, but we need to be careful because those 10 seconds are going to mount up. Hey there, Buccinator. Thanks for joining the channel this evening. So the green light indicates we're staying on this line. We're now clear up to 60 miles an hour. Next stop is Brockley, which is already on the HUD. Yeah, sometimes some of the platform characters aren't the brightest bulbs in the pack, are they? Wow, the timetable on this one is brutal. I get the sneaky suspicion we're going to get halfway through the scenario and then start losing lots of points. Oh, I don't know. We're only coming into it now. Is literally just now is on time, and here we are coming in. So that's not too bad actually. Bring it to a stop, and let's get the passengers on. Let me have a look, Alex. Quite a few, I think, given we're getting about 67 points for each one. Yeah, loads of them. We're going to London, Victoria. next stop is Honor Oak Park in about a mile, so we'll see that pop onto the HUD in a minute now. There it goes. Alex, I think so. I mean, it's a different kind of route altogether, being a network route. So what you end up getting with this route is a whole bunch of different small experiences, rather than having one great big long experience like you would get out of a normal sort of London to Peterborough style route. So if what you want is a nice high-speed thrash over a long distance, this is probably not the route for you. If what you want is you know, a whole pile of different journeys, then this is perfect, absolutely perfect. Of course, you can also join it as a workshop route you can download. If you've got London, Brighton and South London networks, then one of the gentlemen in our office did a combined version of it, which actually gives you the whole South London network and London, Brighton in a single route, which is very cool, opens up even more possibilities for journeys. So we're now up to 30 seconds behind schedule, so this is not good. It seems that no matter how fast I accelerate, I can't get ahead of this schedule. Hey there, Buccaneer, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. No, Tris, the answer to your question is technically yes. However, there are an awful lot of caveats to that. It really does require that the routes were actually built. So when a route is built, you choose, the very first thing you do when you build a route is you choose an origin in the world, the latitude and longitude that is the origin. If the two routes you want to merge have exactly the same origin, then it's possible. It's not easy, but it's possible. It's certainly not a plug and play, and there's no UI for it. It involves lots of mashing around with files and then rebuilding of track. But it's possible. If they don't have the same origin, then it's not impossible, but it's incredibly difficult. Merging of routes was never really intended. But there are certainly ways of doing it. Some people have done it, like the London-Brighton South London network route, for example. The detail on the route is really nice as well. And one of the nice things about the merge is that the scenery from London, on the London-Brighton route, has actually all been upgraded to sort of pretty much be at the same standard as this route. So if you've got London-Brighton in this one, you get the merge route, you actually get a better London-Brighton out of the deal as well, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we're only 15 seconds late now. Slowly gaining points as we go. Got a lot of stops to do. Yes, Stark. TS16 needs me. I love that. It never gets old. The problem with the kind of a career system like Euro Truck Sim is that Euro Truck Sim, you can buy trucks and use different trucks, and one of the things that our users have told us is that they want to drive the trains they want to drive. It's important to them whether they can drive a Class 37 or an O8 or a LMS Princess. So having any kind of progression career system actually is really difficult because there's not really much you can earn. Again, same way, people want to drive the routes and the journeys they want to drive, because if you've got somebody who's interested in shunting, that's great. If someone's interested in express passenger scenarios, then forcing them to do a whole load of commuter style stopping scenarios is not going to make them our best friends. So it's tricky. It's tricky. We'd like to do something like that, but it's being thought about quite a lot, and it's causing us trouble. I'll be honest. So yeah, being thought about is all I've got to say for that one. The game should give me kudos and points for doing this DRA thing, but it doesn't. So what am I doing? Where is the sunflower? Over there. There's a delayed service to London to Victoria to leave Crystal Palace platform soon. You'll be following the service all the way to Victoria to keep on the signals. I think the point is what we'd like to do is create gameplay that everybody wants to do, which is a challenge. But like I said, it is something that's being very seriously considered to work out what we can do that meets everybody's needs, because that kind of gameplay is obviously incredibly rewarding. So yes, all I'll say for the moment is watch this space. Next station is Crystal Palace, and we're currently running 10 seconds behind schedule. Another amber light in front of us, so we do need to be careful now. We have a home signal in front of us that's currently red, so we just need to slow down for that. I guess one thing is to remember is that Train Simulator is not a tycoon game, and won't be a tycoon game. It's about driving trains. So when it becomes about empire management, I think it becomes a different game to certainly the one we're initially intending it to be. That doesn't rule the idea out necessarily, but it's certainly not a direction I'm particularly keen on. I want the player to focus on driving the train and having in a sense a career as a train driver. Okay, clear to go. Forgotten the DRA was on, so we just started drifting. That was clever. Currently running about 17 seconds behind schedule. We ended up actually being slightly early for the win. So the train in front of us is now 2 blocks away, so we've got a double amber. So we'll forgot the DRA. So we need to be careful of that as we leave. Okay, we're out of here. Just need to keep an eye on the signals. Looks like we're still double amber in front of us. I'll have a look when I stop at the next station. I can't remember off the top of my head. So double amber here means that we were clear into Gypsy Hill and the starter signal is red, which isn't a problem. Repeater says the signal is off, which is good. That was a rather nice horn. I quite like that. I might have to make more use of that. Annoy everybody. So we're coming in about a minute early, which is how did that? It says it's a Gamecom headset. It's about all I can tell you because they've not really over-adorned themselves with branding. So the start is now clear, but the next signal, which is at 0.41 of a mile away, is currently showing a red, so we do need to be aware of that. And plus there's a 35 limit coming up ahead, so anyway, so there's no point in rushing to this next signal. However, once the next signal goes amber, we're clear into West Norwood, which is our next station, so we do need to be able to get to where we can see the signal as soon as possible, and then do an approach on it. That's the signal, so we can just ease up to it now. Hey there, the electric mollusk. Thanks for following. Much appreciated. Right, so we've got amber signal now, so let's get going. We're clear into West Norwood. We're in a 35 limit. Let's make a mental note of that. Good news is we're over 500 points. Oh, I panicked there. Stop panicking. Let's accelerate. We've got a 20 limit coming up, but I can't believe it. I've had my first negative score. Man, this is not good. Considering how early we are, that's totally unnecessary as well. Never mind. I only lost 10 points so far. I'm not going to complain too hard at that. I know, terrible. I think it would actually be quite good to mix in some history, but I think you'll probably want to be on specific scenarios. Like I know some scenarios they've done where we have actually included like a guide to the route, and then as you drive down the route, you do get pop-ups that sort of tell you about the local area. But you're kind of limited because you've only got one tiny screen, relatively tiny screen full of text you can put, so there's only so much information. But you can certainly provide a little bit of background to the area, and certainly provide enough information that you that someone who is really interested could then have enough facts to go and Google the rest if they want to. So we've got a green light ahead of us, so that whatever the train is doing in front of us, there's obviously it's cleared, either gone a different way or it's cleared out of our way. So the fact that we've now exceeded 500 score does tend to suggest that we're over halfway. 24 concurrent users. What's going on? Welcome everybody. South London Network, class 456. I was about to say 321. That would have been silly. We're just doing a one of the hard scenarios that comes to South London Network because I always do so well on them. Yes, Jamie, you're absolutely right. We are going for gold. We always go for gold, we just quite regularly fail. Right, let's get going. We've got a green light, so we can get up to line speed now. Oh, already got another AWS alarm. Right, we're clear up to 30. Double amber in front of us. So double amber in front of us means this is the double amber, this is a single amber, and this is the red. So this is technically the home signal for Streatham. So it's the one at 0.4 which is a red. So we're just cruising along at line speed. According to this, the signal is the repeater saying what next signal is off, so it's still at least at amber. Now that tells me it's still at amber. But it has gone to double amber, which is good, so that means we're clear into Stratton Hill and we can't speed up too much, we're still in speed limit. That's the single amber, and we're now clear up to 50, so it's time to get some speed on. Thanks very much, Gary. Good to have you with us this evening. Got a red light at the end of the platform, so that's it, it's just gone amber, so we'll be able to get going again in a timely manner once the passenger load has been done. We're actually running slightly ahead of schedule now, which is good. Jamie, 3 rails. That's the power line. So this is the Southern Rail network. So it's electric engines. There's no diesel. Well, there are diesels down here, but mostly electric. And power is transmitted on that 3rd rail. This one here, the one on the outside or the inside track here. So those 3 they're slightly different to the normal rails. If you go down to the Southern, you'll be able to see them. But yes, as everyone is now saying in the chat, that's 3rd rail electrification. Double amber in front of us, so we're good to get up some speed when we leave. Most of the rails down here are top contact 3rd rail. The DLR uses the contacts on the underside, but that's more the exception than the common. The tube is indeed 4 rails because when they were using the grounding, the return line through the rails, it was causing all sorts of problems. So the return line now goes to its own rail. Right. Clear up to 50 mile an hour. We've got a double amber, so that means that we're clear up to this point here. Ooh, I got an achievement, South London Network overtime. There, Torchwood, love the username, variation on a theme. We've still only lost 14 points so far, so I'm not going to complain too hard about that. No run is going to be perfect, at least none of mine anyway. A green light? What happened? Is that the train gone out of our way? Next stop is Balham in half a mile. We have a double amber by the looks of it in front of us. There you go, double amber in front of us. So we can zoom in so you can see the signals clearer. I was only speeding for -2 points. It barely even counts. running about 20 seconds early, which is good. It's the right side of the schedule to be on. That's harsh, Doc. That's harsh. It's not much of a negative score. Look at some of the other negative scores I've had, seriously. -2 is almost a positive score. If I say it enough, I might believe it. Green light in front of us, so we're good to get up to line speed. Line speed is currently 60 miles an hour. Next station is Wandsworth Common in about a half a mile. And the signal ahead of us just changed from amber to green, so we're still good to go. That's mostly because the this line is now running at 60 miles an hour for a little ways by the looks of it, so the train in front can actually get some speed up and get some distance away from us. So DRA locks out certain controls. It's called the driver's reminder appliance, and it locks out things like the throttle, so that when I stop for a station, I click the DRA and it will then prevent me from accidentally moving the train while the doors are open. It means I have to go through an extra explicit step to re-enable the controls, then which will consciously forces you to think, "Are the doors shut?" It prevents accidents from loss of concentration. Right, so that's Wandsworth Common, arrived pretty much on time. Can't have too many more stops to do now. 3 more after this, for the looks of it, including the final one. Now all of a sudden we're running late. All of a sudden we're running 30 seconds late. How did that happen? Oh, and now we've jumped a minute ahead. I can't pay too much attention to the ETA, I guess. No, I don't think anything stops you throttling the passengers, Jamie. So we're back caught up with this train in front. So we've got, oh, it's just gone green. So if that's green, that's double amber, that's single amber, and that's red, which means we're clear into Clapham Junction. It's good to sort of try and predict where your signals are, what state they're going to be in, so that you know whether or not you should be slowing down, paying attention to speed limits. Well, you should always be paying attention to speed limits, but whether you should be paying attention to them in advance. Okay, so I put the brakes on slightly too hard, but never mind. At least we're not going to get done for speeding, and we've got plenty of time. We're running a minute ahead of schedule at the moment. Hey there, Speedy. Alex, no, I am not pro enough to drive without the HUD. I like the HUD. What can I say? The problem is that you can't really see all the controls, or at least I can't see all the controls I want to see without having to look around everywhere all over the place. In reality, I just move my head, but I can't do that. So the HUD puts everything on so that I can focus on driving the train and not moving my head around the camera, so that I can see this gauge, that gauge, or the other gauge. Hey there again, Ricky. Welcome back. Got a 20 limit here. Just going through this station, this platform. Then we get increased up to 60. We're on our way into. We're actually running along the South West Trains lines at the moment that go into Waterloo Station. So if you've got London to Brighton, then you know this bit of track, because this bit's in London to Brighton. There's the biggest billboard, I think, in the country, at least in the country, not in the world, with all of our trains and stuff adorned on it, well, just because, really. Yes, using something like Oculus Rift does make life considerably easier, it has to be said. Unfortunately, something like Oculus Rift wouldn't run on this laptop, because this laptop's only giving me a barely decent frame rate without Oculus Rift, so with it having to do twice as much work, it wouldn't be anywhere near as good. I love the super elevation on this section of track. It's sort of race tracky. Is that a word? Race tracking? It is now. Next station's Battersea Park in just under half a mile. We demonstrated TS2015 at Gamescom in Germany last year using Oculus Rift. It went down a storm, people loved it. I'm not entirely sure where Oculus Rift support is in the game. I mean, it was only ever sort of a demoware integration. It wasn't a full commercial integration, but it was definitely good fun. So it's another watch this space, I think. I'm not going to do any more scenarios tonight, Speedy, but I will make a note of that one for tomorrow. the next thing I'm going to do tonight is I want to finish off the bit of scenario creating we were doing yesterday, tidy up some things, and get it published on Workshop so that we can just round that example off. Shouldn't take too long, and that should hopefully take us to midnight when it will be my bedtime. I've certainly used TrackIR on Flight Sim, Alex, and because it multiplies up how much you move, so you move your head, say, 5 degrees, and it actually moves, say, 40 degrees or something. I don't exactly know what the multiplication is. It actually means that even you can almost look behind you in the game without taking your eyes off the monitor, although that does get a little bit uncomfortable. For all the normal things you'd want to do, like moving sort of 90 degrees, looking 90 degrees either way, you don't have to move your head very far at all. And if that sounds uncomfortable, then it really isn't. You really get used to it. It's very good. So I mean, flight sim pilots certainly swear by TrackIR because it frees up the ability to look around, which is quite important if you're coming in on a final approach or doing circuits or anything, because you can keep a clear visibility of where the runway is without having to mess about with the hat on the top of the joystick or anything silly like that. Yeah, the Steam sale, I think. I have no idea, to be honest, when the Steam sale is. I think there's been various leaks and other information available. Who's participating in this holiday auction? Is anybody doing the holiday auction thing? Cleared into platform 9. Wow, we're winding a long way over here. Nearly there though, just coming into the platform now. Like the sound of that, Ricky. What's on your hit list? What are you going to be looking for? Yes. I think we can get some hype here for a gold, don't you? My graphics settings, they're fairly high graphics settings. I've got a decent high spec laptop. It's about 5 years old now, but it still holds its own. It's Core i7, it's NVIDIA GT555M, so it's 16 gig of memory, so and SSD drives. So it's pretty decent laptop, and frame rates they're not fabulously outstanding, but they're more than good enough. Oh yeah! Well done, driver. Hopefully the run after Crystal Palace wasn't too disruptive for you. Oh, prepare for your trip back to London Bridge. Well, it says scenario complete, so I'm not going to do that. Fantastic. So we've got some gold medal, we've got some achievement. 23,399 XP. Right. So let me go back into the editor on this other thing and let's finish off that scenario. Before we do that, I'm going to just check up what's going on in the comments. What am I missing? Wow, Ricky, sounds like you've got a really nice selection coming there. There's some good stuff on your list. Really good stuff.